Hello and welcome inside here on Fans Only Sports Network. This is Andrew Fiore with Charlie Adams bringing you some high-level 14U action between the Southern New London County Mutiny and the CT Pride. It's going to be an exciting one, Charlie. Both teams looking for their first win. 2 0-3 squads here, and two of the better programs here for youth football in the region.
Yeah, two teams looking for their first win, both from Connecticut, and just a lot of action ready to get going on the Fans Only Sports Network. Last week we saw the Mutiny in action with their 14U and 15U teams, and it didn't go the 14U's way. It was a shutout performance against a really tough opponent, and now they're looking to bounce back in a big way.
Absolutely. For those of you who don't know, the Southern New London County Mutiny is a youth spring football program for players ages 11 to 15 in southeastern Connecticut. They provide not only a playing opportunity to 7 children, regardless of ability, but provides training, mentorship, leadership, and community building. So it's a great opportunity for these kids here to play. And, I mean, let's face it, though, they're looking for wins here.
Really looking for a big win here, and the Mutiny will receive to start the game here. 12-minute quarters. Montville High School in Connecticut. Bit different from New London High School last week. Just as nice of a venue, nice of a press box.
Very nice booth for us here today, and it's a nice day for it, too. It's got to be in the upper 60s here, according to my guess.
And the day started with some rain, some clouds, and cleared up for a beautiful day for game time as ball kicked away at 5:25 p.m.
Line drive kick. It is returned almost to the 40. A cut is swiftly pushed back. So decent field position here between the 35 and the 40 for Southern New London.
Looking to take advantage early on the opening drive. Last week we saw a lot of run plays up the middle from the Mutiny. Bunched up formations, couple tries through the air. But for the most part, kept it on the ground.
And Chance Tollefson, the quarterback here, calling the shots. It looked like one of the smartest, that's the tight end, Chance Tollefson, who was calling the team together. One of the smartest football players you'll ever meet.
Yeah, and he has some explosive playability on the ground as well. We saw a lot of that last week. Just when there was a big run, it's him.
Direct snap is swiftly tackled, about a gain of a yard. That was Braylon Pagan taking the direct snap. And it's 2nd and 10. Coming off the field now, it is Mason Johnson. Johnson, or MJ, runs track for Groton Middle School and works with a personal trainer as well.
And the CT Pride lining up pretty tight with some nice black jerseys and neon green lettering.
Direct snap to Pagan again. It's tackled in the backfield, but the whistles were blowing. And the flag is down.
It's going against the Pride here.
We couldn't quite hear what the call was, but like you said, it's against the Pride, so the Mutiny will take it just past the 45. Back on the field is Braylon Pagan. He's a karate standout and one of the biggest leaders on the team.
Yeah, still at this 14U level, kids getting chances to do different athletic activities, and you see a lot from the Mutiny.
Pagan cuts right side and is promptly tackled. Sorry to interrupt you, Charlie.
Just a well-rounded group with a bunch of athletes across multiple sports, but here on the football field, facing 3rd and 5.
Big snap here. You have to assume they'll go direct to Pagan again.
This is what I was mentioning about how they were approaching the offense back in last week's action.
Shotgun direct snap, but he couldn't find a lane, and that'll be 4th down as they inch just beyond the 45.
Yeah, short gain there, but this team hasn't shied away from going for it on 4th down. We'll see what they draw up near midfield.
Looks like they are going to go for it here. Remain in the huddle. They have 9:42 to work with here, and a timeout is called. And we remain scoreless. We'll see what the Mutiny kick up on 4th down. Out of the huddle they come, the Mutiny, trying to convert this 4th down here on the Fans Only Sports Network. In shotgun formation, once again, it's Braylon Pagan. And it looks like someone jumped. I believe it was CT Pride. I don't know what you saw there.
Yeah, just based on the reactions, I think I'd have to agree. Let's take another look at this one. See if we can pick it out before we get the call on the field. Everyone just lines up. Man, oh, that was pretty close. But we'll see what the call on the field is. They're still discussing it. Referees all grouped up at around the 41-yard line.
Appeared to be a bang-bang play. And they're going to call an encroachment, so it goes against the Pride, and looks like a big break for the Mutiny as they get the 1st down. And they'll take that break.
Definitely. Keeps you on the field, and first down after a bit of a slow start on the ground. Whole new life here.
Inside the opposing 49-yard line now, once again, Pagan in shotgun. Calls the snap, it's a high, and he runs, excuse me, that's actually named Wright. Wright plowing his way through. What a big gain, as it looks like he's at about the 42.
Moving the marker here up, and yeah, looks like about a 2nd and 5 left.
It's got to be the biggest run of the day for the Mutiny, and it's no surprise as Name Wright also runs track for Groton Middle School. And he has their biggest gain so far. You saw him burst off the line of scrimmage there on a high snap.
Yeah, for the SNLC Mutiny, you'll see a lot of Name Wright. You also, a lot of JoJo Floor making the big plays.
This time it's Pagan again on a hook to the right, but he was taken down just about at the line of scrimmage, so it's 3rd and 5.
The sun's brightly shining onto this field.
It's one of those days where you can get a sunburn indoors.
Yeah, it feels that way.
3rd and 5. Shotgun snap goes to Pagan again on the right side, but he is taken down instantly. There'll be another 4th and long here.
Looks like a player down after that run. Everyone around taking a knee.
Looks like we will take a break here as they sort this out, but stay with us here on the Fans Only Sports Network. We are back here on the Fans Only Sports Network. Charlie Adams, Andrew Fiore with you here in a scoreless game. Another 4th down for the Mutiny.
Get the clock back running after the injury timeout. And this has already been 4 minutes of possession time for the Mutiny.
Looks like it's a pass right, throws it over, but no one home. They can't convert this 4th down, and the CT Pride will take over.
It was our first look through the air for the Mutiny, and just a bit overthrown. 3 CT Pride players leading the way on that pass over everybody.
Yeah, 3 Pride players stuffing the passing game there, and now we'll get our first look at the CT Pride offense. They are led by Coach Rashawn Wally, 14-year coach, 7 straight Pop Warner New England Regional and Connecticut State champion, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 of those back-to-back. And look at this I formation they've got going. Going in motion, is Javian Stanley.
Now this offense looks like it means business right here.
Another runner in motion, it's Everett. It's a handoff. Big gain here already. 1st down and more. He's at the 30, now the 20, now at the 10. What a start for the Pride. Looked like it was Jameer Rogers on that run. It was Jacob Branch Jr. Starts things off with a touchdown on the first offensive play for the Pride.
And we just have to take another look at this one. He just bursts away from the pack up the far sideline, and he was long gone. A quick start for the CT Pride, taking their in-state opponent to the end zone on the first play of their day on offense.
Not what you want to see for the Mutiny so far. 2 4th downs. The only conversion was due to a penalty against the Pride, and then 1 play, 1 touchdown for their opponents. As they go for 2 here. I formation once again. The handoff this time goes to Sims. And it is good. So the score sits at 8-0 here in favor of the Pride.
Strong start, even getting that 2-point conversion right there. And the SNLC Mutiny are looking for sponsors. Sponsors wanted for their spring youth football ages 11 to 15. You can email snlcfootball20@gmail.com for details and package options. www.snlcfootball.org. Hashtag SNLC football. Hashtag let's start a mutiny.
Mutiny needs something big here after that quick start by the Pride.
And the Central Mass Rockhoppers last week against the Mutiny were impressive. They led 30-0 at halftime. And one of the most impressive parts was they had a kicker that was lights out, taking the extra points, even making a 41-yard field goal.
Really?
For 14U. You don't see that too often, as you'll usually see a 2-point conversion like we just saw.
Line drive kick off one hand. It is dove on by Chase Tollefson, the tight end. But it's not great position here as they're about at their own 20 with 7:31 to go here in the first.
And you can feel the CT Pride confidence building after a strong drive now. Some good field position after the kickoff.
Some confusion on the sidelines here. They need a ball. They're finally going to get one out. Running that out is Ricky Milbury, the defensive back. Fastest player on the team. And he's going to stay in that huddle for good reason.
Even with some of the best track stars in the state, the fastest player, Ricky Milbury.
Nick Whitman will head onto the field as well. He's Coach Whitman's son and is playing center for the first time. He's known as the helper because he's always helping people when they need help. Clever nickname there.
We'll see if he can help out the Mutiny here as they look to get on the board.
Direct snap again, stuffed. Looked like it was right. And that is not what they wanted to start this drive.
Not too productive at all. Backwards by about 5 yards. Looks like 2nd and 14, 2nd and 15.
And the helper is going to trot off to the sideline here. Didn't quite catch who was coming in for him, but now you can see in direct snap formation is Tollefson. He takes the snap, but is immediately stuffed in the backfield. Another big play. Looked like a little celebration there from Jackie Wright from the CT Pride, and it's 3rd and long.
And it's going to be really tough to dig out of this hole now. All the way back with 3rd and 19. And looks like another timeout going to be taken.
Timeout. We'll step aside and be back here in a few moments on the Fans Only Sports Network. .6:19 to go here in the first. 7-0 in favor of the CT Pride. 3rd and long here for the Mutiny. 3rd and 19. Big deficit here as it looks like Tollefson's going to go in direct snap formation in the shotgun. Need a big play here. Tollefson steps back. Quick toss over to Wright with a little room to run, but he's taken down by Aiden Valentine. Valentine, that is the shot for the CT Pride, who get the 4th down once again.
Yeah, good job from the CT Pride sticking with the play there after the toss and not letting anything by. Now 4th and 23, and likely going to see another try to go for it here.
Bold strategy here. A 23-yard gain is needed. Their longest gain of the day is 5. They're looking for a big break, maybe hand it off to the speedster named Wright. Looks like it's Tollefson. Steps back, he loses the ball, picked up right away for the touchdown by Naheem Sims. It's 14-0 in favor of the Pride.
And we knew it was going to be a risk, but we didn't know just how backwards it could go for the Mutiny there, as you're going for it on 4th and 23, and that play got out of hand quickly, and now the Pride back into the end zone.
Disastrous play there. Tollefson just couldn't corral the snap, and Sims was right on him. Well, there's still time for the Mutiny to mount a comeback. They'll have to stop this 2-point conversion. About to set to go. Handoff, wide open lane, strutting into the end zone is Javian Stanley, and the Pride tack on 2 and now lead 16-0.
Just some strong football play there on the 2-point. And Mutiny are going to have to quickly forget how their last drive ended. Getting the football back shortly. Still have the 15U game coming up right around, scheduled around 7. I'm sure it's going to be around closer to 7:30 maybe. But Greater Boston Rebels coming in to take on the 15U Southern New London County Mutiny.
Should be a thriller. Kickoff set. It's Lucas Finado lining up again. That touchdown for CT Pride by Sims, who broke his knee and his ankle and still came back to play. Waiting for the kick here. It's a short one. Big opportunity for the Mutiny. It was touched, though. It looks like the Pride might have taken over, and they do. Emerging with the football now in celebration is Jacob Branch Jr., and the Pride will get another chance to score a touchdown here.
And that was a well-executed, it looked like intentional onside kick. It went about the 10 yards or how many it needed to go. And the Mutiny did get a hand on it, but not enough. And now we get to see the explosive offense of the CT Pride back on the field.
They have 1 offensive snap and 2 touchdowns so far here in the first.
It's a pretty good pace to be on.
High formation once again. Under center. It's not I anymore. The snap. Steps back. Long pass. Wide open man. It's caught. A quick cut fake from Batista, who struts inside for the 3rd touchdown in 2 offensive plays. The Pride are now up 22-0 and still have a chance to tack on 2.
And you have to take another look at this juke move from the outside. The drop back and the throw is on the money down the sideline, and then weave right round and wide open Green after the juke move into the end zone.
Batista with a filthy cut move. Man wearing number 12, reminiscent of Travis Hunter out there. 5 minutes ago, it's 22-0.
Number 12 has to be one of the biggest shoes to fill kind of numbers you can take in football, but right there, he might have lived up to it.
Handoff, a quick juke cut move again by Rogers, who's in easily. 24-0 here for the Pride. Take a quick break as they set up the kickoff. 24-0. Stay tuned here on the Fans Only Sports Network. Welcome back here on the Fans Only Sports Network. A big lead for the Pride. But let's see what the Mutiny have to cook up here, trying to trim away at this deficit.
The CT Pride came out with the onside kick just a play ago. And now they'll drill it up the middle. So still a little difficult handling it, but the Mutiny with possession and now a chance to return.
So Not terrible field position here. I'm seeing some celebration from the Pride, wondering. Well, it looks like they just were happy about the big stop there. I was wondering for a second if they got the ball back again, but it's a big chance for the Mutiny to try to chip away at this lead.
Absolute dime to the sideline from the defensive back, sending the ball out of play there. As the Mutiny gearing up for their chance on offense. That might have been the best play we've seen from the Mutiny on the kickoff. Some explosiveness, trying to maybe house one and get the day going on offense, but they did cross midfield to start the game.
They did. So anything's possible here, and when you have players like NEYT, the speedster, again, he runs track for Groton Middle School, and you've got some speedsters. You've got JoJo Floor, too, number 35. He's one of the best middle school track stars in the state. Look at this close bunch formation they've got going here. Again, it's Tollefson in the shotgun formation.
We did also see our first look through the air a couple drives ago from the Mutiny.
Smothered on the line of scrimmage is Tollefson, who took it himself. Second down.
It's another play going backwards for the SNLC Mutiny. On that defensive touchdown, the Pride were holding a 4th and 23, I believe. And heading into that direction already on 2nd and 12.
Close, tight formation here. New man under center. Takes the snap and stuffed around the 20. It looked like that was Logan Weber. Weber started the season on 15U and moved down to 14U. That time, looks like he had the size. He can be a threat, but that time the Pride were able to break through.
Yeah, and we'll see later today, but it is a bit of a big jump between 14 and 15U. You see a lot more passing plays from the 15U team, and it might just be a good thing at this point in his career to spend some more time here with 14U.
Absolutely. That development can be huge for your long-term prospects. Now, once again, Tollefson under center. All alone in the backfield, and looks like he drew another encroachment there. Ja'Kai Wright was too eager and jumped the line.
And we don't have any official stat tracking.
But it looks like they're actually going to rule that a false start. Tollefson is furious. And they move back. A big break for the Pride. It's 3rd and 20 now.
Tough spot there. And now they'll actually move the ball up. So I guess they might have flipped their decision right there. Now up 5 yards to 3rd and 15.
So it's the Mutiny who get the break there. Bit of confusion, but the ball will be spotted at around the 28, maybe the 29.
You have a pretty good officials crew here, and maybe one of them thought one thing, the others thought a different. You definitely saw how Tollefson thought the call was going to go. Turns out he's the one correct here for the 3rd and 15 now. Another drop back.
Tollefson's pass is intercepted by Salmon. Salmon rounds the corner on the left side. He's at the 10. Flags go flying. He crosses the goal line. And for the moment, it's another touchdown for the Pride. We'll see what comes of those flags. But it looks like it was just slightly underthrown. He had an open man, but not meant to be there for Chance Tollefson. Did you catch who that open man was?
I like seeing them take chances through the air. And it was number 2 for
NEYT. the speedster, so that had a lot of potential there. If you're the Mutiny, you just hope these flags go against the Pride.
Getting the call here, and looks like the flag did go against the Pride.
So the Mutiny survived that scare. But a lot to be encouraged by for Southern New London County. Naeem Wright got wide open. We'll see if they can repeat some of that magic.
They're taking different looks here at this point in the game, trying things out through the air, and near disaster averted. So instead of a touchdown, it looks like the CT Pride are keeping possession of the football.
They have a first down as well.
But still, it was a big loss for the CT Pride to not end up in the end zone now, getting the ball back where they created the turnover. But this is an explosive Pride offense that we've seen 2 plays out of.
Bit more spread out this time. Oh, it is the Pride. The snap, the long throw. Wide open man, it's caught, but broken up on a great play by Naeem Wright. What a stop there. Wright has been dominant, and he breaks up what could have been a touchdown for Lucas Fanato.
And it might be one of the highlights of the game so far for the Mutiny. And that throw was beautiful down the sideline, and it nearly looked like another big play. Instead, we'll do 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 coming. They've got a few men wide. Valentine towards the sideline. As one wide out on the other side, it's Jacob Branch towards his own sideline. The snap. Dropping back to passes the quarterback. He lets it fly, and he's got a man, but he overthrows him. He had Branch Jr. We apologize, we don't have the name of the quarterback here with us, but number 7 just overthrew it by a hair. And that is Max Campbell, excuse me. Campbell visited Mexico and rode a dolphin at one point. So not only can he let it fly, he lets it swim as well.
Those dolphins can be tricky.
Absolutely. Not the Miami Dolphins, though, but it's hoping to get there one day, handoff, and room to run and more. Another touchdown for Javian Stanley and the CT Pride. Now they have hit that 30-point mark, and we'll go for 2 in a moment.
And take another look at this play here, and this is why they call Javian Stanley Rico Suave. Right up the middle and into the end zone. His first sport was basketball, and there you see a crossover into the end zone with another touchdown for the Pride.
Stanley's first sport was basketball, and you saw some of that fast break speed on that play. Campbell under center again, trying to go for 2. He's got Sims with them. Backs up, tosses, corner, almost a spectacular one-hand catch by Lucas Fanato, but instead it's going to be the first 2-point miss by the Pride all afternoon. So at the minute 48, it's 30-0 in favor of the Pride. When we return, the Mutiny will look to spark a comeback. Just about a minute to go here in the first. The Mutiny down 30, looking to spark something here. They had some flashes on their last drive.
This is a similar spot to where the Mutiny were against Central Mass last week, except Central Mass took 2 quarters to get to a 30-0 lead. Now here, the CT Pride dominant through 1, and 30 seconds and ticking. We'll probably see the last play be this kickoff of our first quarter.
The kick is a short one, another squib trap, onside trap, and it was scooped up by El Qasimi.
Flags tossed around the 49-yard line as the final seconds of the first tick away. It got a pretty good distance there on the onside attempt.
That's the end of the first. 30-0 Pryor score. We will be back here on the Fans Only Sports Network with more from Montville. Stay with us. Welcome back here, Fans Only Sports Network. Andrew Fiore, Charlie Adams with you. The Mutiny of Southern New London County. Looking for some big plays here. Running clock now as the deficit is 30. They haven't started it yet. And the clock will start running as the Mutiny try to draw up their first play.
And now time is already running down in the second quarter, as you said, and the Mutiny, let's get some positive momentum going, possibly into their next matchup. As we mentioned, both teams entered today 0-3, but the CT Pride have certainly looked like anything but an 0-3 team here today.
Cut move by Tollefson was not enough to escape the pressure there. Tackle for loss, and it'll be 2nd and 10. I thought it was for loss. Yeah, it looks like it's a loss of 3 yards. 2nd and 13 now for the Mutiny. What are you saying if you're in that huddle? What's the right play here, Charlie, to try to spark a comeback?
I think you should go out a wildcat and try to get some good blocking up the middle and burst up the middle, hopefully. It's been the goal most of these plays here. And eventually, with the right blocking or even that, that's been kind of the Mutiny's strength today, is getting the CT Pride to jump off sides. I'd have to say that the majority of their yards on offense have come from penalties so far.
They have been absolutely dominant when it comes to forcing offsides. Important skill in this game.
What a feat it would be if you could drive down the field only from penalties. I don't know if that's ever happened across any level.
That would be unbelievable. Belichickian almost. Tollefson, low snap, runs on the right side and gets manhandled there. Oh my goodness, Jameer Rogers. It was either Rogers or Naheem Sims. My goodness, what a play.
Serious collision there. I think a CT Pride helmet came off. For a second, I thought it was Tollefson's helmet, and that would have been seriously something. And possibly really bad for the hit, but luckily it was a CT Pride helmet coming off. And that's just how much force was put into that collision there. Now back with a 3rd and long. Similar formation here.
Low snap gets by him. And Tollefson had no choice but to jump on it.
And the 3rd and long becomes 4th and longer. All the way back to their own 40-yard line. And even a step further. 4th and 21. It's just a beautiful day for football action from Montville, Connecticut. Montville High School. Concessions on site.
Gotta love it.
Hot grill going. Might have to get an idea of what they're serving down there in between our two games, as again through the air and again an interception for the CT Pride.
It's Jameer Rogers again. Well, the flag is going to come down. I don't think it'll be enough to take him back, but my goodness.
Another turnover here. And the referee's talking things over. Looking to spot the football. And it's going to be a short field left for the CT Pride, who haven't needed much favors on offense as the game's gone on. But they'll get one here.
Clock winds down to the 7:34 mark.
They're taking a penalty here. A 15-yard penalty, as the CT Pride are going to start this drive with a 1st and 25. Didn't exactly hear exactly what penalty it'd be, but there's not many options when you're talking a 15-yard penalty.
It was something that appeared right by the sideline when he was about to get pushed out. But either way, Campbell under center, 2 men with him. The handoff goes to Valentine. Valentine, room to run on the right side. He's at the 20, looking for more. At the 10, he's in for a touchdown. That is 4 touchdowns for the CT Pride, who are now ahead 36-0, looking to tack on 2 more.
And let's take another look, and it's in replay, with the CT Pride wasting no time. Into the end zone again. Building that lead up more and more. 36-0, just domination here through our first now quarter and a half.
CT Pride have not looked like an 0-3 squad, as you mentioned. Looking for more. Campbell. Switching his backs. got two to choose from. Decides to go with Moy. I believe it was Moy.
Regardless, another successful 2-point conversion.
More reason to celebrate. And excuse me, that was Tyjon Yarbrough on that 2-point conversion. He's been playing for 3 years. Usually goes by Ty or T-Dog. He accidentally ate an ant off an apple before. That is courtesy of the CT Pride Fun Facts, but he ate on that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, he definitely did, and the Pride have been eating all game long. Now 38-0 with less than 5 minutes to go in the first half. And the CT Pride coach coming over, talking with the Mutiny coach. And from what we could hear on our booth, it was, we're not kicking off, right? So at this point in the game, we might just see the Mutiny start their drive. Or excuse me, that was Mutiny coach to Mutiny coach conversation, discussing whether there'd be a kickoff or not, but it looks like we will just start up the Mutiny's drive from their own 30-yard line.
Clock almost at the just past the 4-minute mark.
Referees.
Looks like someone went on the field is what I thought I heard. I'm not seeing. Well, the gates are just wide open down there by the 50.
I think they were looking for an 11th man maybe to step into the huddle here before we can get things going. As now the position to start the drive is coming from the 30-yard line.
And they've stopped the clock as well.
And we're up to the 50-yard line now as the clock resumes running. So now resuming play at the 50-yard line to start the drive. And I think at this point in the game, they're just discussing on what do we want to work on right now at this point, and they want to start this drive from the 50-yard line is the only way I can picture that conversation going. It's another run play that doesn't get much traction for the Mutiny. Looks like it got right back to the line. Couple yards. 2nd and 8 now.
2nd and 8 now. Mutiny having a meeting here. I think your goal's got to be a touchdown here today.
They were shut out last week against the Central Mass Rockhoppers, and trying to avoid a similar fate here with this drive, again, starting at the 50-yard line, and the second down play going backwards here for the Mutiny.
It's already a 3rd down now, 8 yards to go. They'd love to pick up a 1st down here before the half ends.
And as far as it goes, after the first quarter, you were trailing 30-0. Here in the second, you've only allowed 8 points through nearly the entirety of the quarter. Just under 2 minutes left to play. Of course, this quarter has been with running clock. So not exactly the same situation as the first quarter, but still some improvements defensively as a sidearm sling to the sideline there. We're going to have to get another look at that one, Andrew.
Yeah, watch the replay here. He backs up. He had no choice but to just get rid of it. Looks like they're going to try. I mean, I'd have to imagine the Mutiny are just going to try some more passing. Another huddle coming. You can see the frustration coming from Chance Tollefson. Just about a minute to go here.
That's a smart football play there to get it to the sideline. He would have been out for a loss.
Mutiny running out of time to get a play in here.
Yeah, we're approaching the third quarter and facing 4th and 10.
.26 seconds to go here. It is going to be, once again, Tollefson under center. He's got one back with him. Oh, the snap is actually taken out by Wright. Wright gets smothered on the logo, and I believe that is how this first half will end. But what a half for the CT Pride. We're up 38-0 here at Montville High School. Some adjustments necessary for the Southern New London County Mutiny. Again, trailing the CT Pride 38-0 here on the Fans Only Sports Network. Charlie Adams and I will be back after this.
Thank you.
Welcome back here on the Fans Only Sports Network. Andrew Fiore and Charlie Adams with you for a 38-0 game for the CT Pride.
And running clock will continue here in the second half unless the Mutiny can claw back within 28 points during this half of action. But so far it'd be a big win for them if they can get into the end zone here and break a scoreless drought that's lasted at least last week and into this week.
Looks like they're going to start things off at about the 30. No, they're still going. There they go, at the 30-yard line.
And the CT Pride kicked off to start the game. And 38 points later, we'll start the second half with the ball. Looks like we've foregone any kickoffs, which has kind of been a strength for the CT Pride. We saw an onside kick recovery in the first half. Nearly a second one that turned into a flag. Didn't reach the required yards.
Campbell under center now, I formation again for the Pride. It's worked out very well for them. Mutiny, one of their coaches heading on the field now. Trying to help out NEYT, it looks like, or going to the far sideline. Clock is finally running. Again, I formation set for Campbell. Direct snap. The handoff is good, and oh, look out. Tyjon Yarbrough stiff-armed one of his defenders, but the Mutiny were able to get to him. One of their biggest stops of the game.
Yeah, getting to the rusher early and able to bring him down for a short gain. Some nice aggression out of the half. Maybe a new look Mutiny here in the third quarter.
Looks like they made some good adjustments. Campbell again. One back in the backfield. Two receivers to his right. Another handoff coming. Swift cut move. He's got some room on the right side. All the way to the 30. And he stepped out. Looked like that was Kyjon Wright. It's a little hard to see the number there. Looks like he's in a different color jersey, but
just bursting down, and it's a shame that he stepped out. The referee right on top of it. It looked like there was a flag behind the play as well, but big gain anyways for the CT Pride. Now we'll see that flag come into play here. 49-yard line.
So what looked like it could have been a touchdown only gets them 1 yard into opposing territory. So Wallace and the Pride are going to start things up again now. One back in the backfield. Snap. It's handed off to Rogers. Rogers on the left side has an angle, gets the first down, and he's got more. He's got a blocker with him too, and it's another touchdown for the Pride. This time, Jameer Rogers joins in the fun. And by the way, all 5 of these touchdowns have been different players going straight down. The roster got Stanley, Sims, Branch Jr., Valentine, and now Rogers, as the score is up to 44-0 here to start the third.
And maybe at this point, you find somebody who's looking to kick an extra point and give it a try. There's been a lot of success with the 2-point conversions, but kicking can definitely be an important thing for the CT Pride to have in their back pocket. You mentioned they were 0-3 entering today, and maybe, some of those losses could have turned to wins if you were able to line up for a field goal at times. But here we go with another 2-point conversion attempt and conversion.
Another successful conversion. Only the Lions. CT Pride celebrating up big, 46-0 when we return on the Fans Only Sports Network. Welcome back here. Andrew Fiore, Charlie Adams with you. Sun's getting lower. Time's running out for the Mutiny. Looking for something big here.
The lights are on already here. Already a penalty, encroachment penalty to start the drive. Team continues to excel with drawing penalties from the CT Pride. If there's anything that the Pride would want to work on after today, with such a dominant performance, it'd be these penalties.
And something to hold your hat on if you're the Mutiny. Southern New London County, that's the one category they have been leading in all game. And they'll break out a new formation here. Once again, it's a tight formation. Looks like that might be right under center. It is, and he takes the run. A nice cut move there. He's got some room, but it's taken down by 3 tackles. And it's a second down.
And a nice, look to be a gain or maybe just return to the line of scrimmage here for second down. Already with a 1st and 5, so not much to go. And I think it would be their first down, or I guess there already has been a penalty to help them out towards the line to gain here.
Snap taken by Tollefson, but he's taken down already. Scoreboard says 3rd and 5. Down marker says that's down number 2. Well, they fixed it there. 3rd down and about 5 to go. 4 to go, excuse me.
Players warming up for our next game as a timeout's taken, which is about one of the only ways to stop the clock here with our running clock.
If you're the coach, what are you telling your players here, Charlie?
We're just trying to convert right here. They've had 4 down territory across the whole game, and you're sitting with 4 yards to go. This is one where you really want to make sure you're setting your blocks, and you're kind of asking them, if I trust you to run the ball this way, are we going to get across the line to gain? And figuring out exactly what we need to do here on 3rd and short to convert and hopefully keep this drive alive here in the 3rd quarter.
Whistle blows. We're ready to go back into action here. Clock sitting at 5:34 in the 3rd. It's 6:38. Still some time. The other game was slated to start at what, 7 or 7:30?
Originally, I think it was 7, and I thought this game was 5, but this game started around 5:25, and might have been a delay on either end of it, but with how this game has gone on, there might not be any further delay for our next game coming up.
And another offside here. This time Elijah Ulmer jumps too soon. And a big break again for the Mutiny. They have been coaxing the Pride all game long.
And, you know, Elijah Ulmer had 2 turtles growing up for the Pride.
It's a big stat right there, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the two Nichols situation.
Tollefson, downfield pass is intercepted by Valentine. Intended target was named Wright, who gets the tackle. Second time today, Wright has been open, but just barely underthrown. So the Pride take over yet again. Second interception thrown by Tollefson today.
And that's an impressive interception for Valentine. You can't see it too well on the camera, but the sun is shining right down that direction, and it can make it real hard for a receiver or cornerback to come up with a reception. And he just faced into the sun and brought in the football for another turnover for the Pride.
So Campbell will get another chance to show off that arm. 3:49 to go. Or honestly, the Pride can just run it out. They've been having some good cuts.
I would say a bit of a long drive here for the Pride could be the end of our third quarter, but we know the explosiveness from the CT Pride, and it might not take a long drive to end up back in the end zone here.
Remember, their first two offensive plays were both touchdowns. He's got one back behind him. Coach looking for some adjustments.
The CT Pride has some big size in the trenches here.
A big factor as to why they're able to get so many explosive plays. Campbell, the snap, the handoff is blown dead. Or it looked like. It was Javian Stanley. Or excuse me, Ja'Kai Wright. But it looks like they're going to redo that one.
Yeah, there was some confusion the whole time until the snap, and when the ball finally did get snapped, immediate whistles as the ball's spotted 5 yards back for a 1st and 15.
2.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
Is there a jersey on the field back there behind the 30? Something on the field. As the CT Pride again with another bit uncharacteristic short rush there.
Nice stuff there by the Mutiny. Another successful takeaway. Excitement from the Mutiny fans here on that tackle. 1:50 to go, 46-0. The Pride score here on the Fans Only Sports Network. Andrew Fiore and Charlie Adams taking you through this game. Pride trying to get their signals straight here. One of their biggest, toughest conversions here. 2nd and 15. Minute and a half to go. Campbell with Aiden Everett behind him. Slots up next to him on the left side. Too early of a jump there. Excuse me, that was Ahmed El Qasimi next to him. It's a 5-yard penalty against the Pride. This is the best defensive drive for the Mutiny of the game.
And it continues to be penalties that gets the job done for the Mutiny. They've played some pretty clean football today, as far as it goes. Not many flags going against the Southern New London County Mutiny today.
Direct snap to Campbell. He fumbles the ball. Hesitation there. Contested ball. Colin Baker was almost right there for the Mutiny. And it's going to remain Pride ball with 14 seconds to go, but a big force on 4th and 25. Great play by Baker. Smallest kid on the field, but making a big play to keep them pressured.
It's going to be a lot for the CT Pride to build back from to try to avoid turnover on downs here coming up in the 4th.
That's the end of the third. 46-0. is your score here on the Fans Only Sports Network. Stay with us. Exciting fourth quarter action here on the Fans Only Sports Network. It's Campbell and the Pride trying to increase their lead. They're waiting to get their signals in motion.
The clock's already started ticking away in the fourth.
Another handoff. He's got room to run. Missing the tackle there was the last chance for the Mutiny to prevent this major touchdown on 4th and 25 for the Pride. An exclamation point on what has been a massive performance for the visitors.
It's another breakaway down the sideline, and you look at 4th and 25 and you think that might be impossible, but this CT Pride offense has done anything to get in the end zone, and again, just a explosive play down the field and in for the score.
$52-0 here in the fourth. Domination by the Pride. That had to be what, 80-something yards?
Definitely a long ways away. With everything on the scoreboard, the one thing not in action is the ball on the field section of the scoreboard.
So it'll be a chance for a 2-point conversion for the Pride once again.
And you can see in the background players warming up for our next game as another 2-point conversion.
$54-0. Mutiny looking for anything they can get. And it looks like another possession for the Mutiny, another chance for the team to get some things to celebrate.
The scoring, again, has definitely slowed down for the Pride. They were on a 120-point pace. They were on a 120-point pace after the first quarter. With time dwindling, the defense has been able to shore things up. And it's only been 24 more points.
If you're the Mutiny, you'd like to get into opposing territory now. Clock still winding down as they get set up. And Charlie, if you're the coach here, what are you saying in the huddle there if you're the coach?
I mean, you said it. We're looking for something positive to end this game on for the Mutiny. It's been a long journey through 3 quarters, and with running clock, time is dwindling, and the sun is sticking around. I thought it was going to get darker by now, but I mean, by the end of our 15U game, I'm sure it'll get pretty dark around here.
Direct snap, it almost hits the ground. Recovering it was Tollefson, and he's immediately smothered right about at the line of scrimmage. There's a flag on the field.
There's also still whatever garment is on the field around the 30-yard line. I don't know if you were able to see it the first time I tried to point it out, but
are you talking right along the sideline? I see that.
I'm not sure what it is. It's just been hanging around there. I don't know if it's a hazard for any players running towards the sideline.
Well, the thing is, it's out of play.
Oh, it is?
Yes,
oh, yeah,
if you see the hash marks are, yeah.
That makes it a little better, a little
Still
easier
could be
to
a hazard,
think about
though.
On my mind. It's about where the Chance Tollefson throwaway went a couple drives ago for the Mutiny. Yeah, it might just be an extra jersey or something, but the Mutiny are getting some more field position after that flag as they continue to be dominant on the penalties. They've definitely had plenty of penalty yards as a rolling snaps picked up, thrown towards the defense, and without any receivers within reach, it was nearly another interception for the CT Pride.
6 minutes to go. Here is 2nd and 10.
Second and 10 after the incompletion. There's been some of these facts for the CT Pride specifically that we haven't been able to get to during this broadcast, just how the game's gone.
Tollefson throws it into a crowd. It's picked again. Jacob Branch Jr. is running along the sideline, and he gets tripped up around the 30, right by the garment, and a flag gets pulled out. That was, out of the interceptions, that was the closest one to being caught by one of the Mutiny.
Yeah, it was in a lot of players coming together around the lobbed pass and trying to bring it in. Just a little too short. As we'll try to get a replay of that shortly here. And we'll also try to knock off some of these facts here. For both teams, we still have some to get to. But first, the SNLC Mutiny are looking for sponsors. They're youth football in the spring, ages 11 to 15. If you're interested, email snlcfootball20@gmail.com for details and package options. And you can check it out, snlcfootball.org. As the CT Pride are gearing up to resume action. And number 99, Brody Minshell for the CT Pride, went undefeated in his wrestling season to start things off.
One of the players we haven't mentioned yet, Ramon De Jesus, he eats a lot of tacos. Every Friday when he was younger, he ate at Taco Bell, and lately at Chipotle, faithfully on Fridays, and he only wears black and white. Got the black Air Force energy as there is a sprint down the sideline. Looked like that was Brody Minshell, the pro wrestler there.
Showing off some of the strength there to keep the run alive for some extra yards. Yeah, Ramon De Jesus, and, definitely there's still more to go with him, but Chipotle and Taco Bell, I can definitely get behind the Chipotle Heard Taco Bell's starting up some chicken nuggets, I believe.
Oh, real? I don't go to Taco Bell.
I've never been in my life to
Me
Taco
neither.
Bell, so maybe me and Ramon need to share some Taco Bell at some times. But I guess he did move on now, so
I know
Chipotle, I'm down for that.
I know what you can't talk about with him, and that's fairy tales. He has never believed in fairy tales, so his family calls him Don Ramon because he has been an old soul since he could walk and talk. That's a handoff right to Minshell, the pro wrestler. Oh, excuse me, that looks like the big man on the rush is going to be, I think it was Ethan Vilas. I couldn't get a great look at the number with the glare here. And it got shipped over to Aiden Everett. That might have been 96, not 36, so that would be Jameer Streeter on the big run.
Yeah, getting some different looks in the backfield at this point in the game with just over 2 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter. That's got to be a bit of a fright for the Mutiny defense, trying to stop some of these big runners.
Freight train running. Gavin Thompson. Huge run for him. Another first down for the Pride. Trying to get one more touchdown here. Hurry up offense. Looking for that extra insurance touchdown.
Want to touch on another fun fact. Number 23, Kareem Moy, is very intelligent in his reading for the CT Pride.
You need intelligent players on the field, especially when reading through those plays and trying to read opposing offenses and defenses. Good read there from the Mutiny, but it's handed off immediately to Maynard. Maynard still going, plowing through these defenders and gets another first down. Lands just about at the 12-yard line. Under a minute to go now. We'll see if they try to rush in another touchdown. But there's an injured player on the field, so we will step aside for a moment on the Fans Only Sports Network. Welcome back. They decided to let the clock run out, so a resounding victory for the CT Pride. Touchdowns by Rogers, Valentine, Branch, Sims, Stanley. I think I'm even forgetting some there, as it has just been all-out domination for the Pride, who put on an offensive show. But some bright spots for the Mutiny. They forced a lot of penalties and had some close plays there, but overall, hard fight from both teams. Any last thoughts, Charlie?
Well, the Mutiny are going to have to regroup now and gear up for their 15U matchup against the Greater Boston Rebels, the Southern New London County Mutiny. Back in action coming up next on Fans Only Sports. And last week, the Mutiny were able to get on the board and play a pretty close game at the 15U level. So we'll see what they can draw up this time around. With that game looks to be coming in about 30 minutes, so we'll probably see another 7:25 kickoff for that one.
Be sure to tune into that one, folks, but that's going to do it for Charlie Adams. This has been Andrew Fiore signing off on the Fans Only Sports Network.